presidential election in Haiti. And we went to this health clinic where World Food Program was providing food for young mothers and their small babies and small children. And we met this woman, Fleurius, who had come to the center. She was a mother of 5. She had already lost 2 children to malnutrition and hunger. And she was there with her 5-year-old daughter, Marie-Camel. And Marie-Camel had 2 months before gone blind. And blindness is lack of vitamin A. It's as simple as that. If you don't get access to proper nutrition, micronutrients, and vitamin A, you grow blind. And this is something in our parts of the world. You know, you can go to the pharmacy, you can spend a few euro cents, and you'll be well protected. But in those parts of the world, you just can't afford that access to the basic needs. So she explained about her situation, that she had lost 2 children already. She was about to lose the 3rd child. She was admitted to the nutritional program that World Food Program was having with this health center. And then one of the journalists started asking questions to the political situation and this upcoming election. And then this woman, Florius, just had this empty stare, and she didn't really answer. And the thing is, I mean, political involvement in a country that is so desperately poor, where more than half of the population live on less than $1.25 a day, and where every single day is a battle to get that next meal on the table. Political involvement is a luxury that you just can't afford. And she couldn't, and tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands with her can't afford that. So, I mean, hunger and malnutrition cripples, as I said in the beginning, not just the individual, not just the local community, but societies as such. If a human being does not get access to the proper nutrition from the very moment of conception, it will suffer damages, not just physical, but also mental damages that can never be recuperated. Also, children who does not eat well cannot learn in school. They can't concentrate on math and grammar when their stomachs are empty. Hunger is also due to huge economic losses. There was a recent study in Latin America, Caribbean, that showed that billions of dollars were lost to malnutrition, and that up to 6% of the GDP was lost due to malnutrition. And then finally, also, hungry nations are unsecure nations. And between 2007 and 2009, when food prices were peaking, and there were more than 60 food-related riots in the world. So, being basic, but it's really a building block and stepping stone nutrition, also after 2015.
Yes, thank you. I mean, with these numbers, of course, you can also go to your websites, and I think there's probably very much more information about your organization. But President Halonen, I mean, we have heard now, it seems to be we have hope, but sometimes it seems to be quite hopeless. What is the Finland's role, and what can we do as a small country, and why should we be involved?
It sounds perhaps a little bit too much self-confident if I say that with all these mistakes, what you know, and all these difficulties you might have in your everyday life, so we can be a good example for many countries. Because Finland has been the northern poor through the centuries. And now, as a country, we are not so poor. We have poor people still, but compared with the situation in the deep south, the situation is totally different. So I will say that what we can tell from experience is that the 3 most important things are education, education, and education. But we know also that if you are very hungry, you don't learn. And that's why we have had, for instance, in this country already for decades, we have had a school meat, warm school meat without any charge. And this has been even through the wartime. And I think that very simple social innovations can also help in many other present poor countries. But what we can do is also that when we tell our stories, we also give our helping hand. And we teach people and give possibilities. Because as I said, to be poor doesn't mean that you are stupid. Sometimes you know exactly what should be done, but you need also resources. And the second point, what I think that has been very good to tell always around the world is that, yes, you have not only had a female president for 12 years, but exactly just now, for instance, we have a slight majority of the women in the government, and we have the big part of the parliament members are women. We hope, of course, that some of the inequalities in gender issues could be better, both concerning men and women. But we also know that it will be stupid to leave half of the population without using the resources what they can offer. So the gender equality, that men and women, boys and girls can all get food enough, can get an education, and can get an encouragement to fulfill their own personal dreams and to feel solidarity. I think this is a good example what we can do, and more simplified way, or then one other example, not only the school meals, is that we have a very good maternity health, so that we have both the pregnant woman and her baby, but then also after the baby, they will get a good caring. And this kind of the äitiyspakkaus, the maternity box, what we get, everyone, I also, when I was much younger, 35 years younger. So we think that it's a good start. We don't consider that I'm not wanted that. Over 90% of the families will take that. And it will give also the handshaking by the society that the new citizen is welcomed. And I know that the former president of Chile, Madame Bachelet, was very well also leading the United Nations Women's Organization. She took the same system, of course, compared with the economical standards. And they have been also very happy. And this way, the Finnish potkuhousut is going more and more over the world. Potkuhousut means the first jumper of the baby. Okay.
Well, I mean, this half an hour is too less for us. We could talk much more, but I was still it would be very nice to end with the positive issues, but still asking from your perspective, from both of you, UNFPA and World Food Programme, what would your organization like to see the post-2015 agenda? As we have talked today, there's many challenges. So how do you see?
Thank you. From United Nations Population Fund side, there are 4 areas that we would like to see reflected in a post-2015 agenda. One is equitable and universal access to sexual and reproductive health and rights, so that women like Mikela just explained about, that they have access to contraceptives and sexuality education, etc., and health services. Then we would like to put a strong emphasis on young people. Young people in the least developed countries constitute up to 60%, well, the population of under 25 in the least developed countries constitute up to 60% of the population. We need to accommodate the young people, and the young people need to be able to be integrated in shaping the future agenda. It is their future. So a big emphasis on youth is something that we would like to see. The third area is gender equality. We think gender equality is a fundamental human right that we would like to see well embedded in the post-2015 agenda for the reasons we have just talked about. And the fourth area is to look at population dynamics. Make sure that we base our future plan on population dynamics. It means that we look at where people are going to be living. Are they going to be living in urban areas, rural areas, etc.? So we need to look at population data and make sure that our future planning properly reflects the population sort of dynamics, where we live and the number of people we are. Those are the 4 areas that we would very much like to see. Thank you.
And Anne, would you like to add?
Yes.
We have a very good audience.
Very good
you
audience.
Can see
yeah.
they're very active.
We would, for our part, like to see a much bigger, a huger investment in women. Women are the heart of food production, and they are the heart of food and proper nutrition. It's women who grow food, they process food, they sell food, and they prepare food. And it's really, they're really at the heart of this issue. We need to invest in women in all levels. There's a recent report by FAO, the Food and Agricultural Organization, showing that if you give women the proper tools and access to the, to the funding, to the education, they can actually lift 100 to 150 million people out of hunger. It's quite a number of people that can be lifted out of hunger by investing in women. Also, President Halonen mentioned the school feeding program. It's something that we invest a lot in and provided school meals to 25 million school children last year. We just had a report coming out yesterday, a huge global report on school feeding. And actually, since the year of 2000, 21 countries have been able to take over fully their own school meals program. And school meals programs are not like an economic burden or an expense. It's really an investment. It's an investment in the future. And this is also where the attention and the money needs to go to the school children.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Before ending, thank you. As we can see, in half an hour we cannot solve the world's biggest problems, but we all know that there's still millions and millions of people who are really suffering on this issue, and we really need to open our eyes and give our help hand to them. But I will give my final words to Tarja Halonen. Please tell to our audience, and with this kind of issues, I think we all need some hope. Very shortly, but then we all want to know about your everyday life. How was the summer?
The summer will quite okay. We have almost a family afternoon. My husband is sitting there on the third row. So I know that she spoke already at 12 o'clock, but now we can have, and I hope so, the common meal here somewhere together. And this is a good chance also to enjoy the collective lunch, or how do you like to call it. What I will say for the last is that if somebody says that, do you think that it helps? You can answer always that not the whole problem, that this is one of the seeds which will give the harvest to post 2015. So not doing is not the answer. So thank you very much that you are here.
Thank you very much, Madam President, and our wonderful guests.
Thank you very much on my behalf too. Kiitoksia erittäin paljon. Tuossa kohta aivan näillä näppäimillä jatketaan ihan